As promised, I'm doing the second part of the video, the left side of the Deore DX shifter. This is the Pt.2 In this video I'm going to disassemble the main mechanism inside the shifter and then show you how to put it all back together again. So let's begin. So first thing I'm going to do is remove the bolt with the Allen key number 5. Next I'm going to undo the screws. This one's actually missing one. I need to find and locate it. I don't know where it's gone. It appears that the body is attached to this part here. You can't actually just take it off. So we're going to need to just remove all the parts from here. Undo the top bolt. So I'm going to take this off, and this is going to obviously undo the tension on that spring that's on there. Now we're going to take off that spring. It seems to be another spacer here. First lever. Okay, so I'm taking off that clip. Silver spacer to remove. And normally that should just come off, and I can see the spring now. It's not come off actually. It seems there, as you can see, stuck on at the end here and here. So now I can take off that spring as well. So I'm going to take off this spacer. I'm going to lift that up. Now you can take off. Okay, you can now take off this part. I'm guessing we're going to need to put that. No, okay, so when you let go of that, it basically undoes the spring. We need to lift those up, sprocket with a spring. And finally we're going to take off the sprocket on this lever. So I'm going to remove the clip. That's the sides. And then the spring. Right, so now we're going to give everything a clean. It's got quite a lot of oil on this, but not specifically a grease. So I'll put grease onto the parts as well. And I'm going to show you next how to put everything back together again once I figured out myself how to do that. It's midnight and I've decided it's the right time to put all this back together again. Everything's been cleaned. I think I'm going to start off with this lever. The spring is going to go on the top here, and it latches over, and it latches over on the top right there. Stroke it over. You're going to need something to push it down. So same thing here, we're going to apply a bit of grease and put back the parts. So this one and this one. I think the long part of the spring goes at the bottom. I put this the wrong way around. It's actually on this side, and then the spring goes on the top. Okay, that's better. Put this on the top in this position. Now underneath there's a spring, grease. I'm going to put some grease there as well. Slight slit in the on this plastic part. So we're going to put the spring into it. And you'll see on the interior that there is a hole right there, and you're going to want the tip of the spring that's left, so right here, you want that to go into that hole. Yeah, it looks good. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to tension it slightly towards here, and just how I left it, I'm going to put it on the same tooth, which was around about here. Put a bit of lubricant before we say goodbye, and I believe you just pop it on the top, adjust it so it sits properly and correctly. I'm going to put the seal back on, make sure it's on the right side, like this. Lucky I saw this before. Actually this one is in the wrong place, so I'm going to take it back off. Yeah, so this actually goes this side, not that way that I did before. Okay, now it's in the right position. You can put this part on. I believe it's just sitting on the top around about here. I have a feeling that's wedging this part up, but I can't tell yet. So when you put in the arm, you're going to want to eventually have it slotting into that seal part, and I'm going to put this on the top. So I have a feeling that when you're pushing down, it's going to go on top of the part that's sticking out on this plate. You've got this spacer, like roughly here. I don't know how important that is, if it needs to be positioned in a certain way, but this actually you can turn for now still, so I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, so I've screwed the part back on, the brake lever onto this part. It makes it a lot easier to work on. So now I'm going to put this spring on, so it latches onto this part here, the hook. Okay, and then the other part of the spring is going to latch right at the tip of that lever. Got to push it over. Yeah, okay, it's on. Okay, so put this plate back on. Yeah, so you can still turn this so that it goes into the right position to push those parts through the holes. I imagine that tiny little hole there is going to be for the spring, so you're going to need to use a screwdriver probably to push that into that place when you're doing it. So I'm going to do that now. Yeah, that's on. Okay, you have to just push it to hold everything down. Okay. Here's this ring. Apply some more grease on the top here. Okay. So that goes over the silver ring, like so. Okay, so now we're going to put the next lever on. I suggest that you push this back into a shift. Now you're going to put the lever, so you're going to put this sprocket in. This little ratchet part needs to touch the teeth of the mech that's underneath. Let's test it to see if it works. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm applying a bit more grease on the top here. So we're going to put the last spacer on the top here. Spring, it's going to go on that furthest hole, the one that's closest to the actual lever itself. You're going to have that part tip here of the spring that goes in here. The other tip of the spring that's here is going to need to go into this hole here on the bottom left once you've put this on. Push down. Yeah, I think I've got it. Make sure that the spring's not overlapping when you're doing this. So I'm going to put this Loctite on. Usually you put this other blue type of you put a blue type on, but this one I have spare, so I want to get rid of it. Don't over tighten this, I've broken these before. Put this part. The barrel adjuster. Put that back on. Right. I hope this helped you to repair or rebuild, put back into working condition your Deore DX left side shifter. Thank you for listening, and until the next time, peace out.